If you give me this one shot, I will not let you down, Miss Webster. I swear to you.
We are on the record in 2025 CR 30, State of Kansas versus Cassandra Diane Ellison, County Attorney. Miss Ellison, in count 1, you are charged with obstructing apprehension. The state alleges that on or about the 6th day of March 2025 in Greenwood County, state of Kansas, you did then and there, contrary to the statutes of the state of Kansas, intentionally and knowingly obstruct apprehension by harboring, concealing, or aiding any person who has committed or been charged with committing a felony under the laws of the state, with the intent that such person shall avoid or escape from arrest, trial, conviction, or punishment for such felony, to wit, Simon Garza, with a felony parole warrant. This charge is charged as a level 8 non-person felony, which means that if you were to be convicted of this, the sentence could range from 7 to 23 months in prison with a $100,000 fine. In count 2, you're charged with unlawful possession of the controlled substance marijuana after a prior conviction in Davies County Circuit Court. This prior elevates the charge to a Class A non-person misdemeanor. The sentence could be up to a year in the county jail where you are now, and it could include a fine up to $2,500. In count 3, you're charged with unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia in the form of a THC vape pen. This is charged as a B non-person misdemeanor. Penalties could be up to 6 months in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. In count 4, you're charged with, on that same day, operating a motor vehicle in Greenwood County without proof of liability insurance after previously being convicted within the last 3 years for the same charge. That prior elevates this to Class A non-person misdemeanor. The fine for a second within 3 years could be anywhere from $800 to $2,500 in fines and up to a year in the county jail. Count 5 alleges that you were driving at that time with a suspended driver's license, a Class B non-person misdemeanor, penalties being up to $1,000 in the county jail. Up to $1,000 in fines and 6 months in the county jail. Count 6 charges you with a registration offense, alleging that you were driving a motor vehicle with a tag that did not match that vehicle. This is an unclassified misdemeanor. The fine could be up to $2,500. There could be a sentence of 30 days to 6 months. You are also entitled to an attorney. Do you wish to hire an attorney, or do I understand you've applied for court appointed?
I've applied for a court appointed, Your Honor. I am in the process of getting, I spoke with the GM at Kentucky in El Dorado, and they're just waiting for me to get released from here so that I can start work there.
How long have you been unemployed?
Years. I was a stay-at-home mom with my son for quite some time, and then I just, yeah, the last time I worked was like 3-4 years ago.
Okay. And you're not married?
No, ma'am.
You don't live with anyone, common law or otherwise?
No, ma'am.
No dependents other than yourself? So with no income, how do you survive?
Well, I just got out of inpatient treatment in October, and I've been staying with a friend trying to get employment. I'm on corrections, and it's been tough because I've got to get an ID. And well, when I got incarcerated in...
Well, my question was, how do you live? Who pays for your food and transportation? You get food stamps for food? Okay. All right. Well, I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Check back with my assistant, Missy, later this week to find out who that is. And Missy, when is her preliminary hearing control? April 11 at 1:30. You will need to be back here by Zoom with your attorney.
Okay. Ma'am, is there any way that I can get an OR bond so I'm in MRT for corrections and treatment, and I just started.
I'm sorry, I don't know what MRT is.
It's a drug class that you have to take through community corrections, because I'm on corrections with Christy Ashenfelter. They're in
Okay, so
Butler County.
that's
And
the Senate bill treatment.
yes, ma'am. And I attend outpatient treatment 3 days a week. And the sooner I get out, the sooner I can start work and start to be able to, because like my license and everything, I'm waiting. In Minnesota, it shows that I got a ticket back in June of last year, but I have sent Minnesota the verification that I was not there, that somebody used my name, and I'm just waiting for them to release my license so that I can get my license. Like, I'm in the process of doing all this, and then I just started with outpatient treatment and my MRT. Like, I have MRT tomorrow with Christy.
That's not why your license is suspended.
Why is my license suspended? Because I just seen the city judge yesterday, and she told me all I got to do is get a SR22. But then when I get the SR22 and I go to the DMV, they tell me that Minnesota has a hold on my license. But speaking with the city judge yesterday there in Butler County, she told me that their files show that I just have to get a SR22 and that I can get my license back.
That's what my file shows, is it's an SR22.
And as soon as I get the SR, like I'll go get the SR22, but I'm trying to get Minnesota taken care of, because I've tried 3 other times to go. I get my SR22 and I go to get my license. And when it comes to the point of them to print it out is when the hold shows up and says that Minnesota has a hold on my license.
All right, so you've got a conviction somewhere for driving without insurance and it got your license suspended, is that right? Is that what you're saying?
In Minnesota, I don't know what the ticket was.
Butler County was
But Butler County, yes, I have a no insurance ticket. And I set that suspension out, and now the judge said I just have to get the SR22 and I'll go get it. But every time I get it, once I go get it, then they tell me that I have a hold in Minnesota that I can't get my actual license. But I was I've already sent off to Minnesota the verification that it was not me that got pulled over last year, because I haven't been to Minnesota in 11 years.
Okay, well, it looks like just from the Odyssey system that I have in front of me, you have an extensive Kansas record going back quite a ways. Looks like you do have drug charges and traffic charges and insurance charges.
Yes, that's what I'm on. They just combined my probation with my corrections with Christy, so that I don't have to go see Ryan Smith and Christy. Now I just see Christy.
All right, well, Deputy, what's her bond set at? Her scheduled fine or bond?
22,500.
Yeah,
You confirm that, Deputy?
yeah,
And you said you live in El Dorado? I
Yes,
heard
ma'am.
that this morning. You live in El Dorado. You don't? All right.
I could have a
Miss-
job by the end of the week. They're just waiting for me to get released from here. Bobby Swift is the GM.
Bobby
And
Swift is the GM?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And he's already told me that he'll give me the job and everything. I just got to get out of here and continue my MRT and my treatment, because he's willing to work with me around my treatment.
Well, Miss Gillette, isn't Bobby Swift on some kind of papers? Isn't he the one that sat here in front of me and threatened to harm a jailer or something? Wasn't that Bobby?
No, that's a different one, but
Oh, that was Bobby Coe. Okay, well, Bobby Swift is known to me also. I'm
that's
surprised.
for a
Yeah.
different. The bondsman called over to KFC and said she does not have a job there, but she does have 6 failures to appear on her record. She has numerous failures to appear, so my request for a bond is 10,000 cash or professional surety.
Please, Your Honor. I will show up for court. I've got my treatment and I just got it all set up in the MRT classes. Like, I have MRT tomorrow night. I have treatment tomorrow night. I have treatment Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays from 4:30 to 7:30. I'm reporting to Christy as I'm supposed to. I have no way to get any
Hang
out.
hang on. One of the requirements of your existing community corrections intensive supervision is that you not get any new charges, and you do have new charges, and if there's any truth to them, they're pretty significant and they would be in violation of probation. Now, at this point, they're just allegations and they're not convictions by any means. But in light of the number of failures to appear and the fact that you are on corrections and you haven't been there very long, I am going to leave the bond at $22,500. And after you get your attorney, if the attorney wants us to revisit that, I will look at that again. I think there's quite a risk with all you have going on right now that you could be motivated not to reappear.
Ma'am, I swear to you, I will, please. At least
Well-
lower the bond so I can try to get out and do all that I've been set up to do. I'm like trying to get on the right track, please. If you give me this one shot, I will not let you down, Miss Webster. I swear to you.
It looks to me that you've been given a lot of chances, especially.
I don't know where my 6 failure to appears come from, because I have one failure. My most recent failure to appear was through the city. Any of my district courts or anything, I have no failure to appears on none of my, on my drug, when I had my drug charges and everything, I have no failure to appears. None. I have shown up to court. Please.
There's
I'm
one
begging
thing.
you, ma'am.
There's one thing that I find curious on your record. In 2024 CR 156, you are associated with State of Kansas versus Bobby Swift,
Right.
dating back to 11/11.
That's my felony case that I'm on corrections for.
So he was a co-defendant in that.
Yes, ma'am.
So you and Bobby were charged with doing drugs together.
I was charged. He was charged with no insurance and paraphernalia.
All right. Well,
Please.
I
I just ask you to give me this one chance.
talk to your attorney. I'm not feeling that that's a very good risk at this time, but talk to your attorney. If he thinks we need to get this in here before April 11th for bond review, I certainly would do everything we can to make that happen, but I just
How
want
do
to
I
make,
get a hold of it to find out who my attorney is?
well, if when Missy finds out if you're still in custody, she'll let the jail know as soon as possible who is taking your case, and then the jail can make arrangements to allow you to contact that attorney, or the attorney may contact you depending on what the attorney's practice is.
You won't
Some-
even lower my bond, ma'am. I'm telling you, I will show up to court. I swear.
Well, I'm sure you told 6 other judges that too.
It was city court. It was city court that I had missed on
That's
two
still
or
a
three
judge.
of them.
It's
I was
still a
in jail.
court. It's still a court. It's still a judge. So at this time, I'm going to remand you to the custody of the sheriff. So deputy, she's excused from these proceedings at this time.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir. We are now on the record in Bruner McCall, 2021 CR 212. Okay, this is a motion motion for judgment on bond. Is the bondsman here, or was this just pro se, Ms. Gillette? On forfeiture hearing?
I'm here also, Your Honor.
Okay. Tyson Case is here as well.
Yes.
All right, we are here on your motion, Ms. Gillette. How do you wish we proceed?
I believe she was arrested. I don't have a return yet on the warrant for my file. So since she has been arrested, turned over, I believe she was on a $2,000 cash bond or C judge. I do not know when they have her first appearance scheduled.
Well, I show that she failed to appear on a warrant to show cause January 7, 25, after posting a $1,000 surety bond secured by Big Fish Bill bonds. And they were notified to be here today, but Mr. Case, you're not with them, are you?
That's one of our companies.
Oh, and the new bond was set at $2,000 cash or surety when she failed to appear. And you have not made that new bond? Miss Bruno McCall, is that right?
I didn't know anything about it. The paperwork I got in the mail said, it was, to decide my, $1,000 charity bond or whatever it was. I didn't know anything about another bond.
You didn't know that, you didn't know that, you didn't know that you needed to turn yourself on a failure to appear warrant?
Well, no, I called and I didn't know it was supposed to be Zoom. I called the courts and with the weather and all that, like they told me, that, they were gonna send a Zoom link,
My question is
for the
today,
next visit.
my question is today, you're saying that your bondsman didn't tell you to turn yourself in on this warrant? You're still,
I did not know about
so
anymore.
Mr. Case, she's still floating around out there with an active warrant, is that right?
So this is the thing I was coming to talk to you today, is I can,
And I don't think he did either, because I kept in contact with him constantly.
Who's saying that?
that's her. So when I got,
Hang on. I thought that Motorola Motor G was the defendant, Bruno McCall. Am I wrong on that?
No, that's me.
Okay, well, I didn't see your mouth moving, but I heard someone talking that I thought was you.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, no, it was me. My mouth was moving.
Okay, let me get my answer from him. Mr.
yes,
Case, why is it that she is out there wandering around with an active warrant for failure to appear?
well, Your Honor, what I was under the impression of, now I am here for the forfeiture hearing, and I was here to verify some things. I have already just spoke to her prior to this hearing. She had this same Zoom set up. What she had told me is that there was bad weather and it was a snowstorm because she called me that day. And
Stop, please stop. I am asking you why she is not surrendered to law enforcement.
you know, I will go arrest her right now. It's not an issue. She
Well,
told me
why haven't you done that?
she told me she had court today also. That's why I'm here right now. All I need to do is figure out what you want me to do. I've already explained that to her. I told her that if you want me to go arrest her, I am going to be going to arrest her. Is that not what I told you prior to this, Rihanna?
Yeah, that's
So I was going off of what she had told me about the Zoom hearing. She just so happened to also have the Zoom. So I got on here at the same time. I will go do whatever you ask me to do, Your Honor.
Well, I know you always do, Mr. Case. You're one of the least I have to worry about because you are very conscientious. But I also know you've sat through enough hearings with other bondsmen to know if there's an active warrant, either you go pick them up and turn them in, or you convince them to turn themselves in.
Correct. And that's why I was here to ask for some time in order to get her turned in. That's what I was here to ask. And
Where is she located?
she's here in Wichita. She gave me her address. What's your address she gave me just a little bit ago, Brianna?
on what?
No,
West
don't say it out,
45th
don't say it
Street.
out loud on the internet.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, she was ready to surrender herself to me and everything. I just had gone off
Okay.
what was said, and there was a snowstorm that day. So that's why I was kind of going with it. That's why we're both here, and I can do whatever you need me to do. She's fully aware of that.
Well, I can't believe she thought that since July 7th to today, there was no ramification for not appearing, but
I think I bonded her. I don't think, let me look at when I bonded her. But no, I get what you're saying. Either way, what you're saying.
well, it's hard for me to set aside a motion for bond forfeiture when the defendant's not even in custody. Ms. Gillette, what's your position on this motion?
I request she either be taken into custody, have the warrant served, so then we can get her. She has a new bond, which is 2,000 cash because it was a pay or appear at a warrant to show cause for not paying her fines on her probation and not being given correct phone information and other information for her court services officer. The officer was just, and when she didn't appear for her warrant to show cause hearing. So.
All right, Mr. Case, get her turned in on her warrant. We'll set this over. When's our next bond forfeiture date, Missy?
Or if she's gonna be turned in, will she get a first appearance, or are you gonna put her?
We'll need a first appearance, or we can give her a special one if we need to. I don't know. I guess if we give her a first appearance, we won't be able to see her until Tuesday, so we'll have to give her a special one.
Well, if she's going to be booked in, then they'll call for I mean, if I give her a date, I don't know that that's what the jail will give her when she bonds out. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so we won't set the date until she turns herself in.
Okay, we'll get this taken care of.
All right. So that will be the order today, that she turn herself in, and when she does, we'll revisit the matter.
Okay, we'll get it taken care of.
Thank you, Mr. Case.
No problem. Thanks.
You're welcome.